world of boxing, there are many stars, but in terms of recent times, no star has been bigger than that of Floyd "Money" Mayweather. He was a boxer who truly took to the boxing world and helped reshape it into the moneymaker that it could truly be. Now he is worth over $1 billion because of the efforts that he took to make boxing bigger and better than it was at the time. And while he is retired, he still has all of that money to spend, including using some of it to get a really nice mansion for himself. So allow us to show you inside Floyd Mayweather's $25 million mansion. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Number 8. The mansion in question. The retired boxing champion bought a $25 million mansion in Los Angeles in 2017, and he seems to be pretty content with it given all the contents that he has within his residence. The 6-bed, 10-bath property located in Beverly Hills, an area made famous for its palm-lined Rodeo Drive, expensive shops, and movie star neighbors. The property is on a half-acre of land. The house has 3 spacious lounges with mammoth windows facing his captivating backyard. It is useful for his business meetings, and Mayweather has 2 boutique-style closets in this house to keep his highly expensive wardrobe in alignment. And moreover, he has an entire room dedicated to all of the belts that he has won in his extensive boxing career, which if you know his record is 50-0, he has a lot of belts. So just from all that you can tell that Floyd is very content with the home that he calls his own, but there are other features inside of it that you absolutely need to know, such as Number 7. The candy store. The 43-year-old is a fan of candy, and he has made a whole candy store next to the mini theater. Yes, you heard that right. Not only does Floyd Mayweather's mansion have a mini theater to go and watch things in, which to be honest is kind of a standard feature for mansions nowadays, but he decided that he wanted a candy store to go along with it. Why? Well, probably because he can and he knows that he can afford it. Plus, it's not exactly a bad thing to have a large store of candy when you go and watch movies, you know? But seriously, why would he need a whole store in his house? Does he just not want to go to the store to get the specific candies that he likes? Does he have such a sweet tooth that he needs scores of candy to satisfy his taste? And these are the questions that keep people up at night. And we're getting hungry talking about all of this candy, so we're going to move on. Number 6. Wine and workouts. This residence has some unparalleled features as well that will trip some of your interests. It has a temperature-controlled wine rack that can hold up to 225 quality wine bottles at once. Now, if you compare this to certain other mansions, you might notice that this isn't exactly the biggest, but that's also a size thing. Having 200 plus wine bottles is more than enough to keep Floyd happy and drinking for a while. And what's more, having it temperature controlled is a big deal, as it'll make sure the wine not just lasts, but ages correctly, which to a wine drinker is the most important thing. But obviously between the wine and the candy, there is a lot of things to work out, and Floyd has that covered. A gym is a must in a Floyd Mayweather home, and the American boxer has made a 5-star fitness room for his grilling workouts. Now on the surface, this may sound like an odd thing because Floyd is retired, but in truth, he's only semi-retired. He has retired from professional boxing, meaning that he won't be going after any more titles or trying to improve his record, but he does have a lot of exhibition matches, including one with Logan Paul that is set to take place in April. More on that one later. But even if that wasn't the case and he wasn't doing all these little extra matches, he would still want the workout center for a very basic reason. He wants to remain in shape. Remember, this is a former world champion and arguably one of the greatest of all time, though some would fight that for reasons that we won't go into. And he doesn't want to be one of those people who reigned high and looked tight in their primes, but then sulked and got heavy in their retirement. That would go against who Floyd is, so thus he does workouts in order to maintain his shape. Number 5. The kitchen and eating area. The wine rack also leads into a massive kitchen, where Mayweather likely calls up one of his personal chefs to cook some of his favorite meals, like turkey sausages, which he does like for breakfast, oxtail, which he likes at 2 a.m., or spaghetti bolognese, which he frequently ate in the build-up to the McGregor bout. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner are probably served up here, a dining room with large windows and a floor-to-ceiling mirror that surrounds a big fireplace. This is of course just one of many areas in the mansion where you can eat. There are other living areas and of course the cinema where they could dine as well, but it's good to have a standard dining room to go and do things in. Number 4. Pools. Los Angeles is renowned for its year-long heat, so a backyard swimming pool is a must. Mayweather's mansion is no different. The retired fighter can take a dip anytime he wants and invite plenty of people to join him should he choose so. The area surrounding it is so big, it looks perfect for a barbecue. And considering how much Mayweather loves barbecue sauce, he no doubt gets one of his chefs to grill up some treats while many of them relax by the pool. It's definitely big enough for a pool party, and considering Mayweather's taste for an extravagant affair, he probably has hosted one or two. Number 3, the bedrooms. As mentioned earlier, the mansion has 10 bedrooms and 10 bathrooms, meaning that there is a perfect 1-to-1 ratio for anyone who wants to go and stay there, especially if they're looking to stay for a while. Mayweather does have kids, so they know that if they go and stay with their dad, they have rooms to partake in. And each one is lavish, not only has a pristine bed, but beautiful windows to go and enjoy the view of Los Angeles. Number 2, the garage. Naturally, a man like Floyd Money Mayweather has a lot of cars, and so just as naturally, his mansion has a garage that can fit many of his luxury cars that he loves to flaunt. But what kind of cars does he own? Well, the Bentley Mulsanne is the most expensive Bentley you can buy, and is a rolling monument to luxury, so of course Floyd has one. It's powered by a 505 horsepower V8 engine that makes a humongous 752 pound-feet of torque. And considering the Mulsanne weighs close to 6,000 pounds, it needs that much power to get down the road. And even though the price of a single Bugatti Veyron is more than $1 million, Mayweather liked his first one so much, he now has at least 3. For that $1 million though, you get 1,000 horsepower out of a 16-cylinder engine and a top speed so high, it is unlikely you will ever reach it, even on a private track. The Ferrari 458 Italia isn't as fast as the Bugatti Veyron, but where the 458 really shines is in the corners. It's luxurious and exotic, sure, but it was designed with an emphasis on aerodynamics and downforce, making it a track monster. Mayweather also made sure to pick up the convertible version when it came out too. So yeah, he likes his cars, and to be clear, he has a lot more cars in both his collection and at his house. This is just the tip of the iceberg, and Floyd is proud of that. Number 1, Floyd's future. For many of us, if we were to go and get a mansion like this, we would be of the mindset that we'd be set for life in some measures, right? But for Floyd, rarely is he content to stay stagnant. Case in point, that match with YouTube star Logan Paul. Does he need to do that match? Not even close, but he senses a big payday awaiting for him, and so doing it, he's gonna go and do it. And just as important, he'll be using things like his gym and his cinema to go and view past matches of him and Paul so that he can be ready for the fight. Heck, he might even decide that after the fight, should the paycheck actually be big enough, that he wants to go and get another mansion. Why? Because he's Floyd Money Mayweather and he gets what he wants, no matter the cost. So what do you think? What do you think of this look inside the mansion of Floyd Money Mayweather? Do you think that it's a very nice mansion to go and call your own? Do you think that Floyd really likes living in it? Are you surprised that he doesn't have a more expensive mansion to call his? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.